going to pull this up. All right, hang on just one more second. I'll be right there.
Do you want food?
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Hi, Miss Lila and Celinda and Miss Wanda and Miss Tina. Okay, let me mute that. I'm going to make this, get this so I can see my chat. Top chat, live chat. Okay, I know, great view, right? Maybe I should start over here. I try to clean up, but it doesn't look like it. It doesn't look clean. I might start over here so I can kind of show you what I have. Okay, so today we are going to get started with, first thing I want to do is I want to do the freestanding lace with the mittens. And I want to do that first because, oh, just threw a foot into the trash can. I want to do that so it'll be dry for the end of class and we can do the mitten block. I like to work in sections. I don't really know why Kimberbell doesn't do this in sections. I like to work in sections. That way when we're done stitching, your homework is going to be to put together section 1. And then if we can get to it, maybe we'll do a little bit of section 2. I went ahead and this morning actually, I pressed out my, this is what I have done so far. So here are the borders. These are the inner borders. And then here are my outer borders, all pressed and trimmed. What I like to do is trim 1/4 of an inch away from one side and then 4.5 inches from that side. And you're going to see the other side's probably going to be a little bit bigger, but you just need to make sure that when you sew it together that it's going to encase that with the 1/4 inch seam. So it should be fine. I did press out some of my filler blocks, but I didn't do all of them because some of them are still attached and I have these and I was like, oh, maybe I will do the filler blocks with you later or do all the pressing and trimming. Some people like to see every single step. So this is what we have so far. And then I did go ahead and I hooped my dissolve away for today. Let me grab that. It said 2 pieces of no-show, but quite honestly, it's like a little squirrely something that's supposed to be yarn. So I just did 1 piece. So I have 1 piece of wash away in my 5x7 hoop. I really don't think you're going to need more than that. And let's go ahead and get started. I don't know if anyone has any questions. Any questions? Checking in. All right. So we are going to be starting off with mittens. I have my spreadsheet right here. So we're going to be working right here. Mittens part A, page 40, 2 layers of wash away. I did 1. Wants marlin. So you're going to be doing this blue and then a matching bobbin. I just looked in my stash for something that was kind of blue. And so that's what I put in my bobbin. I like reusing or using up everything that I have. And we're going to be in the 5x7 hoop. So let's go ahead and start with that. What page was it? Page 40. And then we'll rinse it and we will let it dry. So it's going to be that. All right. I'm coming on over to the machine. Let me get over here. And how many of you are working on this today? You guys doing this with me, hopefully? Hopefully. Some of you like to watch and then do it later. I totally get that too. I'm going to go ahead and slide my hoop on. And like I said, I put in just something that was like blue. It's like embroidery thread and blues. I'm going to go ahead and slide on my hoop. This is my 5x7 magnetic. You can use the regular 5x7. You do not have to have this hoop. I just love it. I love it. I love it. All right. Let's go here into my, I'm going to go right here, which is how I bring in via design database transfer. I am not using USBs at all. I am loving it. It feels like freedom. I don't have to be looking for my USB. Because my computer is easier for me to find, I just send it from my computer. And here's your little squiggly piece. Okay. All right. And I'm going to go up here. I really like to, choose my hoop size. So I know how much room I have. And I'm going to choose my 5x7 hoop. I think it's a good habit. And I'm going to say, okay. And let's go ahead and set it. This is just a squirrely piece of Dissolve Away that I had in my bag. So if I had a bigger piece, I would probably snug my design over, try and save everything that I could. But I'm just going to stitch this out right in the center because look at how much room it takes. It really doesn't take that much room. It's 5.33 if you wanted to. I mean, you could do multiples of these at a time. A lot of times that's a good idea, but I'm just going to leave it right there and stitch it. And I know you think this is crazy that I'm saying it. I'm going to throw away what's ever left over. So let's just go embroidery. And I'm going to grab my marlin thread and thread her up. Poppy is wanting to get out. I was finishing up spring showers this morning. Or no, the Janine Babbage Spring is in the Air. So when I take my thread out, I never pull back. And you need to make sure that this is up, that your foot is up, that that's open. Because when it's closed, the tension disc here is closed. And then I just unthread it backwards. Oh, you want to go outside? Okay, let me let you out. Once you get past here, it just comes right out easily. So let's go ahead and thread her up. I just like to show you guys that. Somebody said something to me once. They were like, oh no, you're pulling your thread back. And I was like, no, I just unthread it backwards with the foot up. Okay, Pops. I've been saving their bully stick to give to them today so that it's kind of like giving your kid an iPad. Oh, yes. Okay. Give me a second. Let's start stitching. You're just going to stitch. Just go ahead and hit start. Once you're done with this part, we're going to change the bobbin back. That's important. So make sure you have your regular bobbin. We're going to put that back in. We're going to remove the project from the hoop. Trim the excess stabilizer a 1/4 inch away from the stitching. Dissolve the remaining stabilizer and rinse the project in cool water and lay flat to dry. And then we'll use it again when we come back here to part B. But for right now, you're just going to do this little cute stitching. And after this, we are going to go ahead and we are going to do our piece blocks. So let's talk about those. I'm going to let Miss Poppy out. Have the hook and snips available. Yeah, was it not on the site? Because I was surprised that nobody got that. Let me look it up. Worry. I'm gonna look right now. Wait, I don't see it there. Hang on. Let me add it. Okay, I want you to check now and see if you can find it. I think it should be there. Also was looking for, oh yeah, sorry, I don't know how that happened. I'm not sure how many we have in this store. I think we have like 3 or 4, but I'll order more of those too. Yeah, I love them. I think they're great. Oh, this is cute. How did you guys do? I know some of you were in for the Spring is in the Air. So hopefully you guys got that done. Yeah, I was just seeing my binding. I was like, I cannot continue to have UFOs. Part of the reason my room gets so messy is because of UFOs and all the stuff that goes to UFOs. So I have to start being a finisher. Okay, let's talk about the, this is really cute. Let's talk about the piece blocks because we're going to work on that next. Here we go. So the piece blocks, you're going to do 4 of these, and then that's going to make up your first piece block. And then you're going to do 4 of these are individual. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we sew them together. But we're going to do this in the hoop where we put the quilting design in. We do the piecing. And then the last thing we do is we do the quilting on top. I really wanted to see if I could do this in one hooping. And I think I could do it in my 10.5 by 16 or else the 11.5 by 18. But here today, I'm just going to do each one of these separately in my 5 by 7 hoop. So, but I did hoop up my 10 by 10, but with the design, see how it's 5 by 5, it's like edge to edge. And I think that's maybe too risky. I went ahead and hooped up my 10 by 10, but I don't think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to end up doing each one of these separate. I love the big hoops. However, they're so big. Sometimes I don't like using the super big hoops. All right, here we go. Embroidery is finished. Let's say okay. I am going to take this and I'll do it in just a minute after we get started. But I'm going to go ahead and trim around this and then I'll go rinse it off. So, but we'll do that in a minute. Let's go ahead and hoop up for the piece blocks. I did the scan and cut last night. I was just busy. I stayed at the store late on Saturday night. And then so yesterday I was filming on the multi-needle and doing some instructional videos on the multi-needle. And then I was, and then I did the scan and cut. It took me about, if I was doing it without filming, it probably would have taken me still like, you know, I was just watching TV, taking my time. Actually, I wasn't watching TV. I had the TV on, but, you know, I was filming. So, anyways, I think I could probably do it in, oops, sorry, maybe like 2 hours, but it does take time. Like, I had to group everything. I'm trying to be faster. The thing I don't like is, hang on, let me fold this all up and clip it. I don't like waste. And I feel like there's waste because you don't, with SVGs, it would, with SVGs, you could kind of control how much waste there is. But you can't do that when you're sending the placement line. So I am thankful for the placement line because you can send that over. I'm just rolling this up as though it was a roll of stabilizer. But if your placement line has like his hat here and then the feet all the way down here, that's what it's going to cut. With the SVGs, it puts a block around everything. And then you could snug them up nice and close. So, that's the thing I don't like. But I did like having everything. Everything's cut and ready to go. I'm going to be using a wool mat. And then I'm also, here we go. I'm going to be using a wool mat. And my iron, which I need to plug in. All right. I do love these hoops because I feel like you use the least amount of stabilizer or muslin as possible. Oh, one big one on the top. One big one. Did you add them? I did add it. Check now. And if you're still not seeing it, then I am doing something wrong. Let me check. I can check. Maybe I don't have it showing. Maybe I have it excluded from the website because we can do that. Okay, here we go. Hooped, ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and slide this on the machine. We're going to load our design. Let me look right now really quickly. It is, let me see. Oh, wait a minute. Online store. Oh, guess what? I didn't have it on anything. I had it excluded from everything. Okay, there we go. Now check. Now it should be, instead of having everything checked, I had everything unchecked. All right, let's go ahead and load our design. So if you look at your spreadsheet, you're going to be doing 4 of these with Plant 15 as your quilting design and 4 of these with Winter 7 as your quilting design. We're going to use Pale Mist. That's going to be the your color for the quilting for both of them. So go ahead and grab that. Let's put that in. And we're going to center the design. And I wrote here, I wasn't sure, but we can also use the 5x7, which is what I'm going to do right now. I did want to see what I could squeeze in. It would never fit in the 9.5 by 14, all 4 of them together, because you're going to have at least 10 inches and you want a little distance in between. So I think the best thing to do, if you did want to do all 4 at once, you got to at least use the 10.5 by 16 and possibly the 11.5 by 18 if you have that hoop. All right. Let's go home. We're going to do the vegetable ones too. Is that what it's called? No, plants. It's called plants. Plants. All right, look for it now and see if you found it. Is it there now? I think it's there now. It's Corey's Hook and Snip. And I think I have them up for $31.99, something like that. Instead of they're $40. All right. Let's go down here to the pocket. I brought it in via design database transfer. Here are all my designs. I will clean this up later. And it's this one right here that looks like vegetation. That's why I called it vegetable, even though it's plants. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and select that. You want the one that's 4.5 by 4.5 inches. So go ahead and select that and set. You're going to put that one in first, and then we're going to add. Design you're going to add is going to be the piece block. Piece block. I'm glad you asked because I thought it was up there. And it's this one right here. Go ahead and set that. And there it is. Oh, and you know what we want to do that I forgot to do? We want to put our regular neutral bobbin back in. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this out. I used a variegated. I don't even know if you can tell. But I had this blue variegated yarn that I put in. I mean, not yarn. Yarn! Okay. Isn't it pretty? So let me take that out. I like to use stuff up. I try to limit myself to one extra thing of bobbins. I have the little ones, but then I have one big one. Regular, please. Okay, the other thing I'm going to do is I am going to bump this up, but I'm not going to do it now because I want it to combine. So we will bump it up in the next page, meaning I'm going to move these both up together. If I move it now, they're going to separate unless you could group them right here. That's your grouping button. If you've never grouped before, I know this looks like 3 buttons, but it's one. You just touch it and then you make it all pink and say, okay, and now they're grouped. And now I can move it and it says 1. Okay. If you want to ungroup, you can just go back here, hit this button again, and then this is ungrouping. All right. And then you also have undo and redo. So I'm going to go ahead and, whoops, let me redo that. And, okay. There we go. That's adding the design in there. All right. And if you don't have that feature, grouping and ungrouping, just touch embroidery, and that's going to group it on the page that you're going to be stitching out from. All right. So we're going to go layout, move. If your hoop is on, it will not go outside of your embroidery field. So I'm going to just bump it all the way up. And let's say, okay, I need a reminder because sometimes I go into autopilot. We are going to do the quilting at the end. So we're not going to do the quilting right now. Quilting is going to happen at the end. So first thing it's going to do is we're going to come down here where we go forward and backward stitches. And let's do we're going to do our batting placement line. You do want to do your batting placement line. And, oh, you know what? My spray tent is in the other room. Let me go grab that. I started stitching on my new 10 needle last night, and then I didn't have a piece of fabric. I was so upset. I was like, I'm not going to be able to get anything done. All right, here are all our goodies because we already prepped everything, right? So we're going to grab out 4 pieces of batting, and why don't we just do the first one, and then you can do the other one for homework depending on how much time this takes us. So the first, oh look, they both look exactly the same. So we need this fabric. We need, here's our center. And then this, and then this, and then all of this. So. Here's my spray tent. I'm going to grab, just because there's not a ton of space, for each one you need 4 pieces. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4. Although we're going to use like one of each of these. me. Excuse me. Oop. So these had SF101, and we put SF101 on these because they were white, and so you could see shadowing through. I don't know if you definitely have to have that. You don't want to put it on all your pieces because it just makes it super stiff. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4 batting. I'm going to put the other ones to the side. We're going to use that for B. But for right now, just grab one of each. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and 1 batting because we don't have a ton of room for everything. We could, if we used our big box. Did I grab one of those? I think so. All right here. You're like, wow, she's taking a long time to do this. I know. I guess I'm struggling to be organized today. The struggle is real for me every day. And you want to spray the wrong side. There we go. All right, I'm a sprayer. You definitely want to use one of your little spatula-y things for this. And let's go ahead and lay our first piece down. And it's recommending G, I think that's linen, for all of your piecing. So I'm going to put this down first. Remember, quilting comes at the end. I'm really saying that for my own benefit. We're not going to do the next step because the next step is the tack down for the batting and then the trim. This step is the placement stitch for your background. We're not doing that, and we're not doing this, and we are not doing this. This is going to happen at the very end. Don't let me forget, because sometimes I go into autopilot. So I'm going to go ahead and change this into, so this is happening at the end, so you don't have to put that in, but it does want you to do a lighter color, so I'm going to go ahead and put it in linen for all the piecing. I think I could have just put in pale mist. Pale mist is light. You know what? I'm not using this. I'm using pale mist. Pale mist. This is something where they want you to do flip and fold. And you can iron if you want. I am not going to. And don't let me forget to go rinse my piece of yarny yarn. Okay. Next thing it wants you to do, because remember, quilting is going to happen at the very end. So we're going to go to load the embroidery file. That's up on our screen. Whoop! Not up on my screen. Keep going. We're going to do that at the end. There's your template. So it wants you to do your template. So you're going to stitch the piecing template and the corner marks. Note, the corner marks are for alignment with an optional quilting design file. Place the piecing one fabric right side up. All right, let me grab my little spatula because this is where it can kind of hook stuff. So it's going to do your template. Whoop. Those are your little corners. Yeah, the monopoly. I'm so sorry about that. Totally forgot about that. Thank you. My manservant just brought me my lunch. If you don't have a good manservant, I would highly advise it. A good one. You need a good one, though. Not all manservants are created equal. It could be a woman servant. Neither of that sounds very good, huh? Forget I said that. That's my joke with Patrick. Okay, this can start to get caught on the batting. So just don't be putting your fingers under there. And put your finger on the start stop just in case. Just in case it starts to pull it. I think I'm safe now, but you never know. This is a dangerous spot right here if it gets caught under that. Okay, first piece it wants you to put down is it wants you to put down this one. And it's going to put it over here. So your template, do you see your template? You're going to put it down in this order. So we're going to put the first one down and it needs to cover this whole thing. It's going to stitch a line and then we're going to trim it away. All right. So, whoop, just drop my piece on the ground. Mine doesn't even feel that sticky. I'm going to cover this whole thing. Here we go. Next thing it's going to do is it's going to go ahead and do your tack down. Make sure I have that all. Yep. And then we're going to trim top and right. Get your snips out. Poppy, you can't sit there. Poppy took my chair. That's what happens, I guess. You snooze and you lose. You're going to trim to the right and the top right. So I'm going to go ahead and trim this. All right. Now you're going to lay down your next piece. Your next piece is going to be, is it the flower? No, it's this one right here. You're going to lay this down. This is the sticky side that I already sprayed. Actually, mine doesn't even feel that sticky. I'm going to give it a little shot of spray. Oh. All right. This line that you just cut, that is your placement line. And what I would recommend, so you don't get shadowing, is always take your fabric and don't just put it right there, especially if it's dark. Just take it and nudge it past where the fabric is. You have a ton of room here, so it's going to be okay. And now it's going to sew the 1/4 inch. So because mine is sticky and you don't have to spray it, I'm going to put this right here. Otherwise, the fabric is going to stick to the bottom of the foot and it's going to move all over the place. So I'm just going to start it and I'm going to hold it down at the beginning and the end. If you don't, it is definitely going to stick to your foot and move all over. So you got to hold it down right here. Okay, because mine is sticky, I can just go ahead and fold it over and lay it down and it's going to stay. I like to give this a nice little finger press too, but that's going to stay. If you want, you can take it off of your machine and you can give it a little press, but that's enough for mine to look awesome. All right, next thing it's going to do, it's going to do the, So, we are on step number 4. So do you see right here? We just folded it back. Now it's going to do the placement trim line right there. Okay. So you're just going to hit start. Use your extra thing here so your fingers aren't in the way. Trim. You're going to trim above that line. And this is just piecing in the hoop. So I'm going to go ahead and do this, and I'm going to trim right above. All right, next piece. What's the next piece? This is your next piece right here. You should have sprayed it. Oh, you don't have to. You can tape and you can press. Center it to the stitch line. Don't center it to the fabric. See, my fabric goes all the way out here. My stitch is right here and here. You're going to center it to the fabric. Oh, let's cut this too. And if you want, you can take your fabric and nudge him up a little bit so he covers the fabric underneath. Then you won't get any shadowing. I'm going to put this down. You want to hold this here or else this is going to move. And I'm going to also hold it over here. If you spray, it's going to stick to that foot. If you don't spray, it's not going to stick. But it might still move that around. I'm going to take this and I'm going to fold it back. Fold it back. Nice finger press. Isn't that looking absolutely beautiful? And that way you don't have to take it off and iron it. All right, so what I just did was this right here. I folded it back, 5, folded it back, right side of fabric up. Next thing it's going to do, you're going to stitch the trim placement line. Go ahead. Start. You're going to trim to the right of that. You're going to pretend that line extends all the way up, even though it doesn't. So we're going to go right here. And we're going to trim all the way straight up. And trim this too. Okay, pretend that goes all the way up. I don't know why they just don't make it go all the way up. Don't trim this way into it. I'd rather have you trim that way to the right. Hey, no. All right, let's go ahead and slide this back on. Oh, we need to place our next piece of fabric. Your next piece of fabric is going to be the flowered one. This one right here, the blue. You're going to center it to the trim line. Don't center it to this piece of fabric, to where the stitches are. So we're going to go ahead and put it so, let me just make sure they have that they didn't put it up all the way. Yeah, because it's going to go, I think this is the piece that it's supposed to go over. But I'm going to center it to this right here. Okay, and I'm also going to move it a tad to the right, so that it covers all of this stuff, and then you won't have any shadowing through. Okay, hold it here. If you sprayed, it's going to stick to the bottom of the foot. Okay, I will give you something. Oh. Okay, fold it over. Nice finger press. I'm losing my seat. I have to go get I have an ottoman that I sit on sometimes because Poppy likes to sit with me. And she literally just pushed me out of my seat. This is what I have to deal with. But she's so cute. I can't get mad at her. I just get up and sew. Yes, you are so cute. Okay, so we just did that one. We folded that one. Oh, did I just mess that up? I just messed that up. Hopefully you have another piece of fabric. If you don't, this was supposed to be another one of these. And just in case I need this, I'm really sorry about that. Sorry. Let me go ahead and take this out. She's my co-pilot. Oop. No, get your paw off. Out. Hang on 1 second. I'm just going to give them a little bully stick and send them outside. You guys want a treat? Sorry about that, guys. right. So, yes, sorry about that. We needed 2 of these triangles. And then this piece goes at the very corner. So I'm going to go ahead and take this out. And that's okay. So I do have to go back. There we go. All right. One more of these. You need 2 of these. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a little shot of spray. This will make it easier for me. They were kind of like all over me just now. And I just can't say no to them. Patrick's like, crate them. Nope. All right, here we go. I'm going to put this down. And of course, I'm going to go ahead and bring it over just a little bit to the right. Let's go back. So I have to go back in steps. So I'm going to go right here. And this goes forward to the next step. This goes to the previous step. And again, I'm going to grab my little spatula right here just to make sure. I'm going to put my other finger on the back side. You want to put it at the start and the finish. There we go. Much better. That looks better to me. So I have like an ottoman that I usually will sew on, and then she can sit with me. There we go. That looks better. All right. Next step. Now it's going to do a diagonal. So that's the next trim line. Watch out for this part right here. It's going to want to push that back. But we're just going to go ahead and hit start. And we're going to watch for this one. Okay, back on track. Boop! Did you see that? I don't know if I can release that. Let me see if I can get him out. Yeah, I gotta pop him. That was... And I think we might be okay if we just like release those stitches, because there's going to be a 1/4 inch. This is just your trim placement. So I'm going to go ahead and trim anyways. I'm going to trim to the right of that because we're going to have another stitch that's going to go a 1/4 inch in from there. So I think we're going to be okay. It's up to you if yours, but we got to watch for that because that's going to... I just knew that was going to happen, but I'm just going to trim. And I'm not going to worry about it because the 1/4 inch stitch is going to go to the inside of that. I'm just not going to trim super close and aggressively. Okay, next piece. This is the piece that makes a difference. I'm going to give it another shot of spray. Take this one. We're going to center it to where the stitches are. Here to here. All right. Make sure you hold it down where it's starting and where it's ending. If you're spraying. Even if you're not spraying, it can move all of that around. Oh, I should have placed this to the right a little bit. I should have placed it over this because that's what shadows through. Okay, live and learn. We'll get it on the next one. You do have that SF 101 that should help with the shadowing. I'm just going to go ahead and crease that, fold it over, and it might be fine. Next one, it's going to do your next trim placement line, and that's where we're going to lay down the flowers. And we're going to do this 8 times. So the issue with doing it all in one hooping is you have all these pieces that are going to be overlapping and stuff might get sewn down. So I really think just to keep it simple and to avoid frustration, just doing it in the 5x7 hoop and just doing each one separately might just be the easiest way to do it. And then we're going to put this one down. So go ahead and center that to the last stitches that you just did. and hold them down right here. Hit start. Put my finger at the other end. Once it's tacked down, then you're kind of okay. We're going to fold it over. Okay, before you take it out of the hoop, it's going to do, is it doing like a, yeah, it's going to do an outline stitch around the whole thing. So make sure everything is like held back nice and crisp. We're going to do that outline stitch. And then we're going to go back and add the quilting. You want to make sure you add the quilting. All right. Oh, I know, but isn't it nice that we can do this together? Like, I love that there's YouTube and Zoom. I'm going to say, okay, go back and do your quilting. Don't pop it out of the hoop. So that's going to be right here. See the green? So on my machine, I can just kind of touch if I'm in this screen where you go forward and backward stitches. But you might just have to fast forward through it. Just hit your arrow until you see the quilting stitch. And we are doing Pale Mist. I'm just going to go ahead and let it stitch. And that is your first one. When you're done with all of them, you're going to trim them, and then we will sew them together. I really think that they should give you an option that if you do have a hoop big enough, that they should just do it so you could do it all in one hooping. So cute though, isn't it? And when you piece in the hoop, you get perfect corners, perfect points. How easy was that? Let's go ahead. Let's do the next one. I feel like there's no like, this one's pretty interactive. I want like a section where there's a lot of stitching so I can go rinse. Maybe I'll call my manservant down to do that. I mean, if you do it right, you'll have enough of this fabric that you could just lay these down for like the triangles and stuff, but we have everything cut, so let's just use it up. It's a little bit wasteful with the thread. And now we're gonna hoop again. Let's do the next one. All right. I've seen other people that have theirs done, so I hope you guys aren't chomping at the bit. If you are chomping at the bit, just go stitch it. Do it all. If you're interested in the pillow, we're cutting those right now too. The issue is, I don't know if I'm going to have that snowflake fabric for everyone's kit. So we might use polka dot. They discontinued it. I did order a different snowflake fabric, which looks really, really cute too. We'll see. Here we go. Where's my last one? Here he is. All right, let's repeat. Repeat. With the other ones, it's going to be the same exact process. The only difference is there's going to be a different quilting design on the top. You do have to be careful of this not folding under. I am going to clip it, but if you leave it on, you can get closer in your hoopings. And I'm surprised that I haven't sewn it down already. Usually I will have done that. All right, first step, placement for the batting. Oh no, guess what? So I was in the middle of it, so it didn't go back to the beginning. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit my cut button to go back to the beginning, if you're on this page where you go forward and backward stitches, just hit 0 if you have that option, or you can just go back to the beginning. If you don't have a 0, I wonder if you could, how would you get there? You'd have to arrow through. All right, but I do have a 0, so I'm just going to go ahead and hit 0. Takes me to the very beginning, and I'm going to spray all my pieces again, including 2 of those blue pieces. 2 of these. 1, 2 of these. 1, 2. And I dropped everything else on the ground. Guess I could have been spraying these and not sitting there watching. But sometimes, even with all the stitching I've done, I'm sure you guys find you do this too. Sometimes I just get mesmerized by the stitching. I just sit there and watch it. And I'm like, what am I doing? I have so much to do. Is that everything? We need, that's for the center. Then comes this. Then 2 of those. Then this and this. Okay, that's it. And your batting. My batting's on the ground. Let's grab it. And your batting. Bumpy side. Bumpy lumpy. I'm trying to put it away from me when I spray. All right. Batting first. I know I'm making you guys wait. I was like, oh, that's so mean, but you know, I'm busy. Okay, first thing we're going to do, or next thing we're going to do, we just laid that down. We're going to skip some steps. So say, okay, here, I'm already in the window where I can go forward and backward stitches. If you're not there, this is how you get there. That button is your friend. I rarely touch this one. That's the tension and your jump threads. But this one I go into all the time. So let's do that. And we are not going to do the tack down for the batting. And we are not going to do the placement. And we're going to skip that. We're going to skip this quilting. It happens at the end. And we're going to go straight to the template. Have your little tool, and you might even keep your finger right here on the start stop in case the foot scoops under and tries to take it for a ride. And if you find that's happening consistently, then just do the batting and the tack down, because then it'll sew it down. You don't have to worry about those edges. But me, I like to live on the edge. This is as exciting as it gets for me. Are the pillow kits, they are not on the website because we're still kitting them. But I'm hoping we'll have it at the end of the week. Like I said, we might be putting a polka dot in there. I kind of have to evaluate what we need to get. It's cute though, isn't it? So cute. Okay, this is the sketchy part. Like right here. I'm going to go ahead and stop it right there because this is where it's really sketchy. So if you want to go slow, just hold this down and it's going to go slow. Okay, I'm above. I think we're okay. I'm going to stop it down here too because I don't want it to be catch right here. I'm going to hold it down. Oh, you're not seeing this. Ah, you went just around it. Okay, we're up and above. Okay, just stop and start. And just make sure nothing's getting caught. Oh, this was the inside anyways. All right. Start, stop, spatula. Oh yeah, do your thumbs up and subscribe. We do appreciate that, and I always appreciate you guys reminding each other. All right, we're going to put this piece down first. I sprayed it already. Always sprayed side down, and never spray the right side of your fabric. You're always going to be spraying the wrong side. Oop. Now you're going to trim to the right side of this. This is your trim line and your placement line. Next piece. Next piece is going to be this one right here. Right side up. Center it to that stitch line. Push it over a little bit past, and then you'll get no shadowing. Let's see how fast we can do these, huh? You want to hold this down over here. Otherwise, it's going to stick. Put your finger on the other side. Once it's tacked down, you don't really have to worry about it. But you still want to hold it on the other end, or else the fabric gets dragged around. Fold it back. Finger press, which to me is fingernail press, and push that fabric up so it's nice and taut. Now it's going to do your next trim and placement line. Now you're going to trim above. If you don't get through these as quickly as I do, don't worry about it. We're going to trim. If you want, you can trim this little guy too. And now you're going to grab one of the blue squares. Center it to that stitch line, not to the fabric, to the stitch line. Push it a little bit above, covering all the fabric so there's no shadowing. Hold it down on the right side. And hold it down on the left. It's important that you hold it down on the left and the right. Keep your fingers out of the way of that needle. Susan, did you find it's pretty quick? Like, this doesn't look like it's going to take that long. Finger press. Fold it back if you sprayed. Now it's going to do... What's it doing next? Oh, I think it's going to do the next line. Hi, Patrick.
I don't know how.
How is the mountain biking? Are you going to the store right now?
I mean, I can wait because.
If you want to go now.
What?
I can show you the fabric. I just need a little piece, too.
I mean, I'll probably just grab and bring the bolt and then.
I don't want the whole bolt. It's too much. Okay. I'm trying to finish this project. Okay, remember, extend that line all the way up. So it took long because, I know. You should do that. I don't care. I don't care that you want whatever you want. I'm sewing. I love that lady. I gave them bully sticks because she literally kicked me out of my chair.
Did you give them all of them?
That's it. I mean, not all at once. All right. Do you like being here for our conversations? Here we go. And then you can push it to the right just a little bit to cover all that up. But this fabric's dark enough that you really wouldn't get any shadowing anyways. Let me see. Here we go. How's that view? That looks like a good one. Okay, hold it down. And flip it to the right. Flip it. Yeah, that didn't look right before. Okay, remember we had that little challenge with this right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to stop it right before, like right there. Okay, foot up, tuck it under, and then we should be good to go. So just stop it right before, tuck it under, and then you should be good. Okay, now you're going to trim to the right of all of this. I hate just throwing all that fabric away. Now we're going to do the white piece and then the blue piece. Maybe what I'll do is, you definitely want to make sure you have a curved pair of scissors, or else it's just going to cut right into your batting. That curve's important. I think I kept all this fabric for one of these, and I pieced them all together, and then I used it in my back. All right. And it was so cute. Now we're going to put this one on. You want to center it to the stitch, not to the fabric. Right here, right there. And you can put it over a little bit. But this one should have SF101. If you don't, you definitely want to... Let me see how much fabric we have. How much do we have? Because if we have enough, let's see how much gets cut off the other side. Because I just have a little bit right here in the center that's sticking out. I think there's quite a bit left. Here we go. Finger press, fingernail press, nice and crisp. You don't want it to be sloppy. Next stitch, you've got probably about, I don't know, half an inch. We could have just covered that whole thing. So if you don't want to SF101 this, you don't have to, but you have to just make sure the fabric is covering the fabric underneath, or else you're going to see that. This is the cutest fabric ever. I'm sad that they discontinued it, that they're not going to redo it again. You know what I would I wish they would bring back, don't you wish they would bring back Broomhilda's and Whisk? I wish they would bring those back. They brought back Whisk, and but yeah, it was here and then it was gone. Okay, last piece. Center it. You can bring it over the edge. Center it to the stitches. Hold it front and back. Start end to end. And then fold it back. Do the outline stitch. Have your spatula in case there's any challenging spots. No shame in hitting your start stop button if you need to. Looks good. What's going on out there? Can you shut the door so there's no dog fight in the... All right, we're ready for the next one. Oh, we're not ready for the next one. You want to add the quilting stitch. Don't forget about that. So it's going to be right here in the middle. I'm just going to touch in here. Go to the next one. Just keep hitting the arrow till it advances till you see the quilting stitch. We're doing it in Pale Mist. That's what I'm just leaving in my machine for all of this. And let's do 2 more. Should we do all of them? No, because it's already 1 o'clock. I'm going to do 2 more and then I'll do the rest on my own. That's your homework. Part of your homework. You'll get the hang of it though. Too much. I like to do my homework as soon as I'm done. I like to do my homework because then I don't forget and then it's just done. Oh, while it's doing this, I should be spraying, right? Patrick, did you hear from the Sherrys? Really? Okay. Can't show up empty-handed to a dinner date. Spray the back sides, never the front sides. Never the front. You don't want stick on the front of your quilt. Okay, wrong side. Feel for it. All right. Now we are done. We are going to rehoop. Oh, did somebody use that? Somebody used Yemet on this? You know what I have that's so beautiful? Okay, I'm not crazy about the Yemet because you have to baby that stuff. You have to I have to hold it. I have to make sure it doesn't coil up and kind of kinks like that. This stuff is amazing. I'm going to show this to you. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. All right, I get this from Gnold. Isn't this gorgeous? And I buy it in this big old, look at that. Should I try it? Okay, we just started. Let's just throw it in. I have it in a couple different colors, but this one looks amazing. I would share with you if I could, because look at this roll. How big is it? Oh, it's only 6,000 meters. So, let's try that.
All right. So, how do you want to tell me what fabric to get?
Oh, guys, rehoop. I gotta show Patrick something so he can get me this fabric. I think there'll be some behind Lori's work area, or in that big basket. It's take this with you, please. It's mold attached.
Okay. And I'm just doing that and grabbing the shipping, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Rehoop. I'm going to put that in. It's going to be so gorgeous. I think they're not cheap. They're like $35. I think you guys can buy it. I'll see if I can get it any cheaper. But yeah, I have it in a couple different colors. This one looks perfect. Looks like pale mist. Okay, I'm going to try it and see how it goes. I wish I could just put some on a little bobbin for all of you. I probably could, huh? And then you don't have to get the whole thing. Should I do that? And then you could just use it. Let me see how it stitches out. And if it stitches out beautifully, I don't know how much you would need. Should I? Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to wind it on a bobbin. And I'm going to see how much I need. And then I could just let you guys know I'm wind. I'll just be, why not? Just let's throw something else on my plate. Now I'm going to be winding thread for you. But what if it's gorgeous? Sometimes thread makes a project, right? I didn't even think of it. Virginia, I can't think for myself. How much space do I have between? Oh, I have tons of room. Let's pull them up just a little bit, though. I need you guys to think for me. Something else I love about muslin is it just presses out really beautifully. So if you get a pucker, if it's pulled too far to the left, too far to the right, doesn't make a difference. Oh, the other thing I really like to do is I like to cut one off. I don't like leaving more than one on. So I'm just going to go ahead from the back side because you want to cut in between. I'm just going to go ahead. Snips probably aren't ideal. What not to use? Don't use your snips for this part. What do you want? What do you want? Okay. I was talking to a friend, and she was talking about how she has a Malamute. And, we used to have a Husky, and those are like cat dogs. She was saying it's a cat dog. And I was like, you're right. They're totally cat dogs.
Who has a Malamute?
They do. Adam and Gina.
Oh, yeah.
And because they just don't need all the love and attention. Whereas these dogs, Australian Shepherds want to climb into your skin and be one with you. Why don't you take them? Take them.
You guys want to go for a ride?
Oh, so cute. If they could make a skin suit out of you and just be one with you, that's what they would do. That would be funny. Like sometimes Poppy will, I'm telling you, she is pushing into me so hard. Okay, next. And we're going to use that amazing thread to do the quilting. I'll see you. Oops. Guess what I didn't do again? I'm still in the middle of this. So I need to, number one, cut my thread. Hang on one second and I'll give you the name of it. And then we have to go to stitch 0. Start from the very beginning. And then I have to be mindful of what's happening here in the back so that doesn't get stitched under. Here is, I like it when it's like more fluffy. Like, I'm going to put my hand back here so it doesn't hold under. And then we'll spray. This thread is called, like I said, it's from Gnold, and it's their glitter. And it is color 6053. 6053. All right. Spray it all. I didn't even spray yet. I'm going to hold it back here. Batting first. Skip some steps. So we're going to skip all of these all the way to the red. Template. All right, stitch the template. Where's my spatula? Okay, here it is. So every time I hear my squeaky arm, I just think about that time somebody sent me a note. It was while I was going through, and I told you guys before about, while I was going through my cancer treatment, and they were like, I miss your squeaky arm, because I wasn't filming and I wasn't doing much. It's just fighting for my life. But I just think about that, how sweet it was. It was just sweet. But they missed my squeaky filming arm. Renata! How are the chickens? Maybe when I'm not working as much, I'll have chickens too. I could see myself really liking that. I don't think I'm in an HOA. I don't think I could have them here. Okay. Watch for it. And I sometimes cut, whoop, that would be a big mess, don't you think? I sometimes cut my batting just a little bit bigger. Okay, now we're safe. Oh my god, a quilt retreat! Sounds like so much fun! I've never been. Okay, pieces are ready. Let's start laying them down. This one first. Right side down. Actually, Sage and I used to have quilting retreats together. I would just go to her place and we would just sew. Our kids were little. It was so much fun. That is your trim placement line. Trim. Make sure you have a curved pair of scissors that aren't cutting into your batting. Next piece. This one, right? Yeah. Right side down, center to the stitch line, a little bit beyond. Hold it at the start and the end. Here and here. Once it gets tacked down, then holding it here is the most important. Otherwise, it will start swinging all over the place. Okay, there's always one chicken that gets picked on though, right? Or has anyone ever had a group of chickens where they were all nice to each other? Oop, not threaded. Okay, this is the trim placement line. I'm just going to go ahead and go from right there. I didn't go back any stitches. And now we're going to put the 2 blue squares down. I'm such a bleeding heart. I would have to just be protecting that, the one that got picked on. Okay, you're going to put blue square on top. Placement and trim. And put your fabric down. Remember, it's going to stitch a 1/4 inch and then you flip it up. Flip and folds, what we're doing right now. Hold it down here. Hold it down over here too. Hold it down on the right and the left. I was watching Survivor, and then they got the chickens. Like they won their challenge and they got their chickens, and then they wanted to eat one, and so they killed the chicken. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I could kill the chicken. I think I could. So I made lobster. My mom, growing up in New England, you eat lobster. And it was after my mom had passed away. I went to go visit my dad. He wanted lobster, so I went and bought some. And then I had to cook it. I had never cooked lobster before. And I don't know. I boil the water. I put the lobster and put the lid on. And I could only do what maybe like 4 at a time. And so then those were cooked, and I had the other 4 lobster in the sink, and I poured the boiling water into the sink with the lobster in there, and the lobster screamed. And I hadn't heard it with the other one because I just put them in, put the lid on. And I still think about that I burnt him, and that I was like, oh my goodness, I just never had thought about the suffering of the lobster. Okay, I have eaten lobster since, but I think you're supposed to, aren't you supposed to, you kill him first? Yeah, hit him in the back of the head or something. There's a spot that you spike him. But I never thought about how horrible that is to be cooked alive. So, I don't know if I could kill the chicken. I can eat the chicken. Is that awful? But I don't know if I could kill the chicken. I know that's super hypocritical. I should be able to do both. Wish you hadn't. I never experienced that. And he literally, it just got on his leg. And I was like, oh my God. I'm going to stop that. I'm going to tuck this under. I never heard that before. And I should become a vegetarian. I didn't know that they screamed. And yeah. And I was like, I don't think I can put it. I really struggled with it after that. I shouldn't have told you that. Is that like controversial stuff, right? Oh no! I'm so sorry. Yeah, I just like that was eye-opening to me. So anyways, they had to kill the chicken. And I was like, could I do that? I think maybe I could do it. I don't know. I don't know. From snowman to lobsters. Yeah, I don't. How did I even get on that? I'm sorry. I shouldn't have even shared that story with you. Why does lobster have to taste so good? So good. All right. Push it back. Fold it down. All right. Oh, that I'm a bleeding heart. Yes. I'd have to just, and I'm sure it's like, then they become your pets too. I was watching this video, and it was these free range cows just around like the people's property, and the owner came out home, and they came running over like dogs, and they were so excited, and I was like, oh my God, I could never eat that cow. If it was my pet. And they were so cute and excited, and their tails were wagging, and they were bouncing around. And I was like, oh, look at that cow. So excited to see its owner. Center this to this. I told Patrick, I go, oh my goodness, I need to live a long time because, you know, one of the things I dream about is it's like I want to work in an animal shelter. I want to work at an animal shelter. And Patrick's like, oh, that would not go well. Because you would just want to bring everything home. Whoa! Okay. That is where you have to be careful with, I just got this a little bit too close. Let me change my needle. I was thinking about all those dogs that I want to go. I was thinking I could just go and walk them. Maybe I could just go and walk the dogs. But you guys, I have been suffering without my advanced screwdriver. I don't know where it is. So I've been having to use like these silly screwdrivers. And I keep forgetting that I need to bring one home. Because I can never find them. Yeah, I want to work in a shelter, and I want to walk dogs. They need love. Let me throw that away. Pin another needle. You hit the crab in the head. My God, I love seafood. But did anyone watch that show? It was called was it My Teacher the Octopus or something? And I was like, I can't eat an octopus again. Okay, let me make sure he's all the way up. I'm just going to use this. Works? All right, here we go. Ooh, there's the tip. See him? Let me get him. All right. Well, let's talk about something else. I don't want to talk about hitting the crab in the I'm so sorry. I don't know why I brought that up. Yeah, I want to work in an animal shelter. I want to go and walk and cuddle dogs. I would cuddle a cat too. I'm really allergic to him, so oh, that would be the hardest part for me is I want to bring them all home. All right, guess what? We're going to put in this fancy thread and we're going to see how it comes out. So, let's see how we should run this. I'm going to put it on my vertical spool stand. It has a thread net on it. So I'm just going to put it up here. And I have a feeling it's going to be amazing. Well, I want to work in my issue is I want to do it all. I feel like I need to work with kids too, and then I want to work with the homeless, and then I want to work. I want to do it all. Let me take this thread out. I wish I could go back to school and teach again. And then I want to go back and I'm like, I need to go back and become a lawyer so I can do pro bono work for underprivileged people too. It's everything. Ooh, let's see. I feel like I'm going to have to watch this thread on the top and make sure it's feeding out. Finished. Okay. Didn't thread. That's okay. Sometimes the specialty threads, you have to thread them yourself. Here we go. I'm going to just pull this thread out, make sure it's feeding out as it's stitching. Okay, it's already absolutely gorgeous. Oh, hang on. Guess what? I was doing the outline stitch. I didn't fast forward. So let me go ahead, but it is beautiful. I might pull these out. I started with just the yeah, I need to live a long time because there's so many things I want to do. Okay, here we go. Okay, so did they do all the quilting? All the quilting? This is what happens when I go into autopilot mode and I'm just talking and daydreaming about life. All right, here we go. Virginia, was it all the quilting in the project? And then we broke. Did we break? Yeah, we did. This is the challenge with everything that isn't Kingstar. I gotta try it again. I had to try my threader. Oop. Work that time. Okay, here we go. Oops, you're not seeing it. Sorry. And this is what I'm doing up top. I'm like literally hand pulling it and just feeling, making sure that there's like no tightness. And I'm just gonna kind of feed it out. I could slow it down too. But I am hand pulling it on the top and just watching my tension. I'll show it to you in just a second, Miss Virginia. I mean, Miss Susan. Sorry. Yeah, I'm going full speed. It's stitching absolutely beautifully. Does not feed off like beautifully. I do have a net on it because it's, I feel like it would kind of make a big old mess if I didn't. Here, let's take a look. It is gorgeous though, isn't it? Let me pull it forward so you can see it. Oh my God, Virginia, I'm so glad you told me about that because look at it. It is beautiful. I don't know if you can really appreciate it, but it is absolutely beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and cut it. I'll pull it off and I'll show it. Whoop! Did you see that? Hang on. Right into my hoop. Safety device has been activated. Let me see if I can hand roll my needle up. We'll go ahead and change that one out again. Okay, note to self, do not hit your cut button when you don't have your hoop in the right spot. I'm going to automatically change out my needle just because it was trying to push into the hoop. But let's see if you can see this. I don't know. I don't think you can appreciate how gorgeous it is. I'm going to take the thread off and show it to you. This is what I'm using. And it is from Gnold. I think my price is almost close to your price. I don't get a huge discount on their stuff, on this kind of stuff. So it is color 6053. Comes in 6,000 meters, which I wish they made it in a smaller spool, right? But it does look spectacular. I'm going to keep using it. I love that suggestion. Okay, we did 3. I'm going to do one more, and then we're going to switch over, and then I'll be ready to sew those together, although I'm not going to do it right now. And I am going to change out my needle. Just if your needle goes into your hoop like mine was just doing, I would just assume it's either bent or the tip's not going to be as good. Even if it's bent like a slight bit, you just want to get rid of it. So let's go ahead and put my needle in first. I'm just using an EBBR 7511. Where is... There we go. I want you to be OCD about changing your needle. You have a little sight window right here. So right here where I have the tip of my scissors, you can see the very top of your needle. Make sure it goes up all the way. Hand tighten it, and then you want to tighten it with a screwdriver. I can't find mine. Oh, look it. Here we go. I can't find mine, so I'm just using this. There we go. All right, let's rehoop. Here's the one we just did with the glittery thread. We're going to hoop one more. And then that'll be my 4. And then your homework's going to be to do the other one on your own. I will film my homework and sewing them together, trimming them out and sewing them together. Turn to the back. I'm going to cut this one off. I'm going to use a pair of scissors other than my snip so it doesn't take me like 8 years. Cut in between them. Here's my other one. Leave one on. Make sure there's no passengers that stick to your hoop. Oh my goodness, I still haven't even rinsed my thread. For the mittens. I might end up doing that as homework too. All right, I slide this back on. I'm going to take this one and let's go ahead and just do this. Okay. Safety feature has been activated. Let's go here. Pay attention, Genie. All right, on my screen, I'm also going to stitch 0 so we can start from the very beginning. And here we go. Placement stitch for your batting. Let me grab, does that sound okay? Oh, it would sound better if there was some thread in there, right? I'm not going to do the quilting with the thread or any of the placement lines. I'm going to put it back, my pale mist back in. Or I could put the linen back in, but let's just put in pale mist. I did use my cutter on the side, so it does leave a little bit of a longer tail. And let's do my placement line and let's get our pieces ready. Let's make sure nothing, I have a lot of stuff on the bed of my machine, so let's make sure nothing's in the way, and we're going to go ahead and grab, you need your batting, you need your first square, 2 of these, 1, 2, 1 of the white snowflakes, and then 1 of each of these. Okay, shot of spray. Batting first. And then we're going to skip a whole bunch of steps. Did you use yarn on the mittens? So I stitched out the yarn thing, this thing, but I haven't rinsed it yet. I need to go rinse it so we'll have it ready. Okay, let's skip out some steps. So I'm going to use what was recommended, what they created. We're skipping all of this. I'm going to go right here, right before it does the template. So now we'll go ahead and stitch out the template. We're going to be attentive to this. Yeah, it's just Ganode glitter, and they make it. Oh, here I think I have a color chart. Let me see if I have the color chart. I'll show you all of the amazing colors. Ganode has like some really, really cool threads. I'm gonna watch this quick first. Okay, let's see what we have here. Oop. And that got pushed around a little bit, but I'm not worried about it. Okay, we're good. Once it starts stitching on top, I think we're pretty good. Okay, still looking for my little sample book to show you. Oh, here it is. Okay, it's pretty gorge. But these are the glitters. Oh my goodness, aren't they amazing? So the one I'm using right now is this one right here. But all of I think I have like red. I think I have this one right here or this one. But yeah, check with me. This one's pretty fantastic, isn't it? Fun. Really, really fun. Okay. Let's go ahead. Now we're going to put down our pieces. We're going to put our first piece down, right side down, cover over that whole thing. It is going to do the tack down and the trim. Trim to the top right of this. Sometimes when I'm with my girlfriends, I can't even, and because we did get together recently and we were supposed to do our beading, and then we didn't even do it. I couldn't even focus because sometimes I'm too focused on talking. Is that what's happening today? Sorry. All right. Now you're going to hold it down here and all the way up to the top. Don't get your spatula in the way. Although most likely you will just break a needle. I just throw it right into my bin and then I don't reach my hand in there. I dump it out into the trash. Okay, fold it back. Now we're going to do a trim placement line right up on the top. You're going to get one of your blue squares. Down. Let me go ahead and trim this. So if I wasn't tacking and I wasn't breaking needles, I think you can get through this pretty fast. Center it to the stitch, not the fabric. Flip and fold. Now it's going to sew straight down. All right, here we go. Trim everything to the right. And pretend this goes all the way up to the sky. Or straight, like it's a ray. Not to the sky. That doesn't make sense, does it? Okay, another square. Center it to the stitch. My stitch is right here. You can go a little bit over past the fabric. Top and bottom. Just right here until it gets tacked down, but definitely the top part. We're going to fold. Okay, now we're going to do the diagonal. Stop it right before here so it doesn't get caught. I have my finger on the start stop right now. Okay, foot up, tuck that under, foot back down. Now you're in business. And then we're going to fold to the upper right. Snowflake. Right side down, center to the stitches. Hold it at the start and where it's going to end. And if you're not spraying, then you should be taping it so it's nice and taut, or you should be pressing it. You just don't want it to be like loose and you know, you don't want it to pucker, and you want it to be nice and tight and flat. Trim to the right. And then we'll put in we're going to put down one last piece, and then we'll do the quilting stitch with that metallic. And I love that. I'm so glad you mentioned that, Virginia, because I would have never have thought of using it. And I have one block that doesn't have it, but that's good. And maybe I'll just throw it in random spots too. So it'll be nice and sparkly. Okay, I'm going to put this piece on. All right, now it's going to stitch all the way around, and then we'll put our thread in to do the quilting. Okay, beautiful glitter thread. I'm going to take out my pale mist. I'm going to put in my gorgeous glitter thread, color 6053. And keep my fingers crossed that finished embroidering. Yep, thread it up. And let's go to the quilting stitch. And all right. And I'm just going to feed it down, make sure it never gets tight on the top. Maybe every time it calls for pale mist, I'll just use this thread. Seems like it runs beautifully. It just doesn't feed off the spool. Nice and easy. It would be a lot better if it was like a king cone. I have giant spool caps that I've never used. I was like, what am I going to do with this giant spool cap? And maybe this is what it's meant for. And it did break in the very end. And I wonder if I just slowed it down a little bit. Either slowing it down or maybe using a metallic needle, or else sorry, I keep hitting my filming arm. A metallic needle or a top stitch needle. It has a little bit of a bigger eye. Sometimes that can be a cure-all. I'm a pedal to the metal kind of girl. Seems to be threading really nicely. Let's go back. We'll go back to right there. Okay. I should slow it down, but I'm not going to because I'm so close to it being done. There we go. Gorgeous. All right. I'm not going to do any more of these. I'll cut those out later. I want to get on to another embroidery. But we are, yeah, maybe I'll just put Pound Mist wherever it calls for, as long as it's not too finicky. And like I said, I could always throw in a top stitch needle or a metallic needle. I'm just used to using King Star, where it just runs beautifully no matter what you do with it. So, what is next on our agenda? Look at the mess I made looking for the book. Yep. That's what I did, looking for the little sample. Okay, next one we're going to do is, let's do the Snowman. So Snowman is going to be in our, which block? Let me tidy up a little bit. You're like, how does she make such a big mess so fast? I don't know, it's just my talent. It is my talent. 4 of these. You're going to press them, you're going to trim them, you're going to sew them together. Snowman. Snowman. What hoop did I put in our spreadsheet? So for this Snowman, I said, oh, he's big, so we have to go into the 9.5 by 14 or bigger, because he's 8 by 10, but doing the quilting makes it 8.5 by 10.5, and that's why it bumps it into a bigger hoop. You could always just keep it in the smaller hoop and just do some kind of quilting afterwards. Let me grab my 9.5 by 14 inch hoop. I thought I hooped up for everything, but I guess not. Here we go. I'd hooped up my 7 by 12. And then here's my 10 by 10 that I was thinking about using. We didn't end up doing that. Hang on. Let me move this. This. Okay. Gives me a little more room. Oh, you're getting the shoulder view. Sorry. How about that? Is that better? Better? Yes. And if you want to, you do have the little tool that can get these up too. They just go over the rail and then pop them up. All right. Because I don't know if I'm going to even use this one. Ooh. I don't want these to become separated, so I'm just going to put them on right now. Ooh. All right. 9.5 by 14. Sounds like my baby, but she's not here. Patrick took him to the store. Okay, make sure that both of them are flush. The inner hoop's flush with the outer hoop. Pull inward with your fabric. Not up, it'll pop it right out. And then you can tighten this one more time. Mine's pretty tight, so I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. All right, let's go ahead and slide this onto the machine. I'll put this over here. Slide this on. Patrick made me lunch. Here we go. Let's load up our design. I did trim everything. So here are my pieces right there. They're all trimmed up and ready to go. I am going to heat up my, this is my clover iron with the bigger spade on it. I'm going to heat that up right now. I find that it takes like 5 minutes to heat up. It does not heat up fast. Where am I going to plug you in? What is all this stuff here? Hang on a second. Where's this one? My scan and cut. I'm going to unplug that. Okay, here we go. Are we on? Hi. Hi. And there we go. All right. The other thing I want is I do like to do this. Sorry. A lot of times I will press with my hoop on my machine, and I have these hoop and press mats. I really love the snap hoop ones because they're thin. The other ones, the regular ones, are thicker. What you can't do is you cannot use steam with this because it has this plastic coating on the back and it'll like scrunch up. So just be aware. Don't ever use steam with these, with the plastic, like, you know, whatever this rubber coating is on the back side. All right. We are ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and move some of this stuff out of the way because we're using a much bigger hoop now. So I need to be mindful of what's on the bed of my machine. And let's go ahead and load our design. So I'm going to say okay here. I'm going to go home so it'll clear my screen. Where's my handy dandy spreadsheet? We are going to be using Winter 7, the 8x10 design. I have no idea what Winter 7 is. And I have no idea where my book is. Here it is. Snowman is on page 38. How are you guys doing? Hope everyone's doing okay. Oh, it is... Where's the design? Where's the quilting design? Is it snowflakes? Or is that the fat? Yeah, I think it is. Let's go right here. Winter 7. I also, on mine, I've been printing out the quilt instructions and putting it at the very back. So if you look right here, with the bundles, there's going to be a page that you can print out. And I like having that. So yes, it's going to be the snowflakes. And we're looking for the 8x10. Let's try that one. Yes. No, wrong. That one's the 6x8. There we go. The 8x10. This looks like this is going to change. Take some time to do. So, should I put in my thread? I'm a little worried. That's going to take a long time with that. Maybe we'll try it. Okay, here's the design. I'm going to choose my hoop size, 9.5 by 14. It is snowflakes, and I did mine in the color, but wish I had used another color. Yeah, because look, you can't even see anything, right? Because they did it in linen, I think, and you can't even see it. So I'm going to go ahead and add my snowman. And from your spreadsheet, it looks like they're both centered. Snowman, there you are. Set. Okay, they're both centered. I am going to go ahead and say embroidery, and then I'm going to bump it up. So now we're in this screen. I can move them together. Layout. My hoop is on. Make sure your hoop is on, or it will go right outside of that embroidery field as you're pushing it up. And I'm going to go ahead and say okay. And I'm going to go to this button where we go forwards and backwards stitches. First thing it wants you to do is the placement stitch for the batting. I think I am going to try the metallic. I might just, oop, he's still in there too. Let me go ahead and put my foot up and let's take him out. So for the stitching, let's see what comes up first. It is, looks like, I'm just going to go ahead and put in pale mist. But I am going to try and quilt it with that metallic thread. I might slow it down to maybe 800. Probably should go down to maybe... If you're struggling with the Avenir and the threader, I don't know why they moved it where they did. I did get this on the side. It does cut your thread long. When you use the threader, it's the perfect length. So you do have to kind of put it out. But I have found that kind of helpful. Okay, spray tent. Let me grab my spray tent and let me grab my folder. Grabbing all my pieces. We are not, the only thing I'm spraying is my batting because I have heat and bond light on the back of all these pieces. Do you have to have a ScanNCut to do this? No. You're just going to go ahead and do the placement, the tack down, and the trim. Is it faster with the ScanNCut? I don't even know. Sometimes I go, I think this is slower, but I just really love the process. I've really enjoyed the process of doing it. Okay, I'm spraying my batting. You're going to take your batting and you're going to put it right down in the placement stitch that was just sewn. We're going to skip some steps. I also want you to place your background fabric. So here is my batting. Let me go ahead and give my background fabric a shot of spray too. Kind of center it to your, I'm trying not to breathe. Center it to your batting. You can kind of feel around it. Okay. And then we are going to do the tack down for our background. So we're going to skip some steps. So this is the tack down for your batting. Mine is cut to size. We don't need it. Background, placement stitch. We don't need that. We are going to do the tack down. I'm just going to leave the thread that's in there. You want something you can see. I do have my pale mist. I could go with a different color, but I'll just leave the pale mist because you're going to fussy cut to that. Now I'm also, mine was folded up in my bag. It was pretty close up there, but that's okay. I'm just going to kind of tug him down a little bit so he's nice and taut. And that should be good. Okay, we are going to do the quilting stitch. Like I said, I am going to put in my somewhat high maintenance metallic thread and I will slow the speed down and we'll stitch that out. 14 minutes of stitching. It is a long stitch out. There's a lot going on with those snowflakes. All right, here we go. And for me, I know I have to baby this thread, so I can't really walk around because I'm kind of holding it as we go to make sure that it does not kink up and get tight. Where is it? But I think it's going to be worth it because it is so beautiful. Okay, how do you slow your speed down? In your settings. Go to your settings button. I'm at 900. Let's go 700. Keep in mind, when you go 700, it takes that much longer to stitch out. So now my 14 minutes just turned into 17 minutes. That's the price of beauty, though. Beauty costs time, money, energy. I'm just holding the thread in my hand on the top. My thread just getting sewn down all over the place. Looks like it. Oh well. Yeah, I don't know if I would choose snowflakes because I feel like it's a lot of stitching and you don't really get to enjoy it. Because unless maybe we did something super, super dark, this is pretty busy. My thread did just break. We'll see how this goes. Oop. Did it break? No. Did it break? No, it didn't break. I'm still there. Did I just hit a button? Sorry. Maybe I just hit a button. So maybe 700 will be the sweet spot. I feel like this would be spectacular if the fabric wasn't so busy. What is everyone else using? Even with this, the stitches look really small. Oh, I did break there. Okay, this will be the grand experiment. We'll go ahead and use it right now. But if snowflakes come up again, I'm going to use something else. Just because I don't think I want to take the time. And your upper thread, if you don't want it to get dragged around like mine has been getting dragged around, then just put it down through the hole of the foot. And then it won't make such a mess. There we go. Okay. I'm not even going back a couple stitches. Just starting right where I was. Tina, you changed a lot of your... yeah, this one. Did you change this one? So it was like a non-busy background. We're probably about 2 minutes in. Kingstar Silver sounds really good too. Maybe that would have been good. A Kingstar Silver for the snowflakes on this blue background. Probably be gorgeous. I don't know if I'm going to get any more done than section 1 during the week. Just because Patrick and I have a short week. We have that that wedding that we're going to be going to in the Bay. And so we won't be in the store on Friday and Saturday. Whoop. I think this is just going to be my reality. And this week I still haven't stitched up my November wallflower block. Here we go. I'm just going to let him go. Back 10. So I'm going to get that done so I can have your video ready if you guys want to do it with the video. I have all my fabric laid out, ready to go, thread, everything's ready. How slow are you going, Virginia? And are you babying your thread, or is it just feeding out? I guess I could go down to, what am I at, 700? I could try 6. Or I could just keep it at 7 and just rethread. Looks like I'm about a quarter of the way through. I say I'm 1/3 of the way through. That's better than nothing, but I probably will wait. Oh, I mean, I need like this big a piece. I don't want to like. Okay, I'll cut something out. I'll cut something out.
Where was I supposed to look for?
I'm sure Lori has it. Yeah, I'm filming. I'm babying my metallic thread. Okay, I'll cut a.
I actually didn't realize it. There were 2 bolts.
Yeah, I'll just cut something. Because I do want to finish that up. When? Oh, we were close. Okay. Okay, hang on. See, what happens with metallic is it kind of curls up on itself. I can't even call this metallic. This is glitter. At least it's threading, right? Let's go back 10. Okay. Nice, Tina. You're going to be done way before us. Why do you cut your batting to the block size? Does it make it easier to put the blocks together? No, it just saves time. Like if you just cut them all beforehand, then you don't have to do the tack down and the trim. So I just go through the whole thing. If you look at this spreadsheet, it just has all the sizes, so you could just cut them all, group them, organize them, and then it cuts out that whole step of having to do the tack down and the trim. And because, Susan, we have another Kimberbell project waiting in the wings, we got to get this done. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, you guys, that you're waiting for me on this. But now I'm committed. Let me go down to 600. Oop, that didn't even thread. Okay, going down to 600 stitches per minute. And going to rethread that again. 600 stitches per minute takes me to 20 minutes. Do you love hearing that? You're like, how are you going to get anything done today? I know. I know. Okay, here we go. Here we go. 600 stitches per minute. I don't do anything at 600 stitches per minute. I know, you just don't see it at all. I'll like give you some close-up of mine so you can kind of check it out. I am about halfway done. Okay, here's some close-ups. So you can kind of see it, right? But what if this was just on coconut cream or royal icing? It would be absolutely gorgeous. Hey, you gonna drive me crazy, thread. Should I, okay, I'm gonna do it one more time and then I'm gonna switch my needle too. And I'm gonna go to a, I'm gonna just go to a top stitch needle. Has a little bit of a bigger eye and a little more give. I'm sorry you're suffering through. I didn't even back it up at all. It's okay. Can't even see it anyways. You know, Tina, I do sometimes wonder if I could have had a career with my voice. Just kidding. I did all the school plays. Okay, I'm going to put a different needle in. I did all the school plays and I tried out for everything. I never got anything. I always had like a little bit part where like, you know, they gave me like one, I think because they felt bad for me because, you know, I was super into it. Yeah, I would always get, you know, one line. Top stitch. Oh my goodness. Oh, I don't even have a 9014, but I do have an 8012 top stitch needle. What makes top stitch needles special is they have a big eye. And that might make a difference for us. So sorry that you're going to have to wait. I will keep this needle because he is great. Oh my goodness. If I could be anything, I would be like an Adele. Just to have that voice. My two dreams would be that I could sing and dance because I can't do either. I can't do either. I refuse to go less than 600. Okay, here we go. I could also do a, I wonder why I'm clicking. Interesting, huh? I know. You know what it is? I don't think I have a metallic needle here at home. Because I've never ever used it with my Kingstar. I've always just used a regular needle. I'm gonna have to look at my needle stash because this might be too ridiculous for us, right? And I do not like the clicking. We'll just see what we get. And that is a no. We are going to go back to my, looking for my screwdriver. Yeah, I hate this thing. A regular screwdriver. I need my EBB. I need my advanced screwdriver. Needles! I'm so sorry to be doing this to you. Metallic. Chrome. Top stitch. Embroidery. Microtex. No metallic. Super, super. I actually have another thing of needles. I just don't know where they are. I'm going to go 9014. See if that makes a difference. We'll just try every single one I have. Flat to the back for sure. Okay, so this is a good thread to use for a design that is not too busy and dense, and then maybe not for something that has a lot going on. Here we go. Did you check your bobbin just by chance? Just now I didn't. Because I don't think anything's really going on in my bobbin. It could be. I don't have a horizontal spool pin. So, wait, it should be running off perpendicular to the spool. So I am just feeding it down. It's so big, I don't know how I would run it horizontally. Do you know what I mean? I don't think I could. I don't have a big spool pin like that. How are you, Miss Cindy Lehman? Good to see you. Oh, I bet they have a recommendation for a needle for this. Where's my little flyer guy? Put it in a coffee cup sideways. Is that what you're saying? Then I just kept going and actually have only. Wow. Good for you, Miss Cindy. I know you guys are going to be all done. I was like, we got to get this done because whatchamacallit is coming out. I thought that was a pretty good run just then. We've got the Sweet Shop Street, which they told me that they actually have them. They've just gotten them, but now they're allocating everything. I don't think it's supposed to come out like for us until November. Okay, I think it's liking the embroidery 9014 better. I have about 1/3 more to go. He's such a big spool, Tina. I think it would fill the cup and then struggle to get off the spool. I don't know how to describe it. I think it would, I don't know if that would work. So I'm just going to baby it. I'm just going to finish this one up. If we have another snowman one, I will not be using this thread. I mean, another snowflake quilting. I'll use it on the quick and easies. I know, I will bring home some metallic needle. I know I have some here. I have a whole nother book of needles. My go-tos, I really use the 7511 anti-glue Madeira ones and then my Microtex, and I rarely use anything else, even with my Kingstar. So I haven't really, so I put my needles in a safe place. Not with your red sweet coffee cup. Yeah. But then it's gonna sit on the edges of the spool, so the thread's not gonna be able to feed off of it. Do you know what I mean? Because it has spool ends, top and bottom. So if I lay it down, I think it'll get caught on those ends. I know the giant Campbell soup cup. Okay. I feel like I've got about 25% left. Along with it, the portable thread stand. I'm just going to muscle my way through this one. I've got about 20% left. It's got a thread net on. Hi, Miss Donna. If only I had, I'm going to look for it later, but maybe the metallic would be the magic. The metallic needle. For right now, it looks like, because I switched it to a 9014 embroidery needle, it seems to be doing okay. Way better than the top stitch needle I had in. We're getting close. This is a 58-minute stitch out with the quilting. Actually, I'm going to turn my speed up once we get to the regular embroidery thread, and that should go a lot faster. Hi, Mama. Hi, Mama. Thank you. I haven't had a chance. Look at me. I'm like, my hands are occupied. What? Patrick's offering to hand feed me. He's like, you haven't eaten yet? Literally, I am like holding my thread with 2 hands. That's the issue. I can't find my metallic needles. I have a whole nother thing of needles. I know I have metallic in there. I just don't know where it is. I gotta find it in that super safe place. Don't push that. Oh, we're almost there. I mean, they are pretty beautiful. We're on 5 out of 30 color changes. Oh my God, we did it! Yay! All right. Let me get that out of there. Let me wind them up. This is what happens when you teach the dog to ring the bell. All right. Where's my book? My book. My book. And my fabric. I have no idea where anything is. All right. Come on. Don't need the spray tent, although we will for, I think, the scarf. There's something that is, that I didn't pre-cut. All right. So now that we're done with that, it wants to do a placement line, and it wants us to put in the body placement line. It wants us to do that all in pale mist. So let me go ahead and put my pale mist in. We'll cut all those threads later. Some of them are going to get covered up. And you need his bottom half. Heavy breather. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and, oh yes, thank you. I need you guys. What would I do without you? Yes, I'm going to turn up my speed. I'm going to go into my settings. Let's go back to 1,000. It won't go any faster. Oh, yeah. I can go up to 1,000 because I have my regular hoop on. 1,050 stitches per minute. Little hard to see where this goes, but let me just go ahead and lay it down. It's kind of looks like panties, doesn't it? Okay, I have my mat under here. Do not do this if you just have a with your just on top of this, because it's going to melt everything. But I have a wool mat under here, so I'm just going to go ahead and give it a little. Okay. For you, you're going to do your tack down and your trim. I'm going to pull my mat out because I always forget it too. And the next thing you know, it's being stitched down. Pull out the mat. Here's my mat. And then I'm going to go ahead and skip this step. That's tack down and trim. Whoops, went too far. That's tack down and trim. Here's my next step. Another placement stitch. I love this mat. So it's the, I think it's hoop and press. These are the skinnier ones. These are made for the snap hoops. They're skinnier than the other ones. So those are the ones I tend to use. I also have the other mats, and I love those as well. If it's it, let me cut that. I don't want this to get caught. All right, here we go. I might switch to a different thread because it's kind of hard to see, but I need the little circle feet. Here are my little circle feet right here. And then I need the brim of the hat, which I think is this. Is it the brim or is it the... Or his face. That's his face. Hi, Miss Brenda. Okay, hang on. All right. So you got each of the feet. Make sure you have them the right side. They kind of just fit in there, don't they? And then I have this. Where does it go? Does it go this way? I think so. He's hard to see. Yep, this way. Face. Yes. Yes, face. Okay. Sliding him under. Otherwise, the other mat would just be pushing up too hard and aggressively. You don't want to be pushing up on your hoop. This is the Lazy Embroiderer's solution. Be careful. Make sure that you're not getting it onto, like, don't hold it down on the metallic thread too long. The glitter thread. I don't know how well it holds up to heat. Right. Now I'm going to get his little feet. The feet almost look like the same color as the body. Okay, done. Because they were in here crying and ringing the bell and crying. Patrick just asked me why I let him back out. Okay, just pulled the mat out again. Now it wants to do the next step, which is the tack down. Tack down and trim. I'm not doing that because I cut mine to size. Next is the placement line. Make sure that mat is not under there. Do you have a thread stand? Then put the thread in the copy. I do have a thread stand. I know. I just don't think he would work that way unless, because see, he's big and heavy. And so the thread would just get caught on the ends. Maybe if it was like, didn't have the spool top and bottom, might work. Might work. Oh, okay, I am going to do this one. So this is for your blue, your dark blue knit fabric. So this one I am going to do the tack down too. So get your embellishment kit. Give it a shot of spray. I was excited about this. I loved the knit fabrics. The velveteens, for this, I'm going to just put it down, but for the velveteens, you definitely want to, I would put SF101 on your velveteens. So is this like, this is green, right? That's not blue. Is it? Do I not have it? What did you guys use? So I have this, the velveteen. Is this what they're calling blue? Who did this one? Other than that, should I have something else in here that I'm not seeing? Am I crazy? Who did this? Is this what I'm supposed to be using? Because that looks like green to me. Hang on, let me look in my embellishment kit. That's all I have in my embellishment kit. I have dark blue knit, turquoise knit. I think this is it. Who can confirm that this is it? It does look green. Yes, that's it. Okay. Do you put SF101 on the back of your... I am definitely going to spray this with SF101, and I'm going to lay it down, and I'm going to try not to stretch it too much. Okay. All right. Just didn't look like it to me. You know what else? It is hard to see. Here's his hand, and then it goes right here down to his feet. Okay. I'm going to spray it right now. You could, I thought about stabilizing this last night. I was like, should I be stabilizing this? And do we need to put topper on? Let me look at my instructions. Here is his little mitt out here. Okay. I'm going to cover over that. I want to cover over this mitt. Make sure you're not stretching it out. Yours looks navy? Why doesn't mine look navy? Right? This is it though, right? Because I only have two knits. I have this knit, and then I have this knit. And it's fine. Dark blue is for this. Am I using... Do you guys have two knits? These are the only two knits I have. I'm looking in the back of this. I have a 5x7 turquoise, a 7x7 dark blue. Yeah, those are the only two knits. So mine definitely looks more like a teal. Okay. All right. All right. I just put that down. I just want to confirm my instructions because I'm thinking it probably needs a topper so the stitches don't get pulled in. All right, stitch the scarf and mitten tack down lines, trim the fabric close to the stitch line. Scarf and mitten placement lines. Place the scarf and mitten knit fabric right side up. In our sample, the fabric is directional. The lines in the fabric run horizontally. I like it vertical. I'm going vertical. Does it make a difference? It says horizontally. Yes. I don't know. For me, is it does it make a difference? Because I'm more of a vertical knit kind of girl. If I was gonna put my sweater on. Yeah. And it doesn't say anything about a topper. Okay. I'm going vertical. If it's 7x7, then size doesn't make a difference. And I like a vertical look. All right, here we go. I'm scared I'm missing a direction. I don't want it to drag around. I'm going to watch it really quickly. If I have to put my third... Horizontal makes you look fat. Yeah, I'm going vertical. And it says trim the fabric close to the stitch line. All right, let me get my snips. Yeah, I went vertical. According to my mother-in-law. Mother-in-laws know everything. And I love this kind of stuff. Like the sweater material they had in Falling for Autumn was absolutely beautiful. Now we're going to trim this close to the stitch line. And then we're going to do the mitten and the cuff, which is going to be the ice castle, the Ica. I didn't put stabilizer on it. I mean, I looked at it. It said, when I looked at the instructions, it said all fabrics. And I didn't count this as fabrics because, and you know, it said fabric, 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 fabric. So, oh my God, you're right. Fabric. Oh, well, mine doesn't have it. I looked at that and I was like, oh, it didn't, because it didn't say the fabric in front. I literally looked at that and it was like, oh, it doesn't say fabric. I didn't look right there. Yeah, it did say SF 101. Guess what? Mine doesn't have it. But if you haven't done it yet, you can still put the SF 101. I was like, I wonder if I need to put that on there to stabilize it. And I got the directions out again, and I looked, and I was like, oh, well, it doesn't say fabric, so I didn't do it. But, oh, well. So the SF-101 will make it so it doesn't, like, stretch and get messy and all of that, but I think it'll be fine. Yeah, last night I was going over it, because when I do this, you guys, I do it for the first time with you. So sometimes the stitch outs aren't going to be perfect. I just don't have time to do all these projects twice. So I try to read my directions really carefully and prepare beforehand. But I did look at that last night and I went, well, it doesn't have the word fabric in it like the other ones. And so I didn't do it. But yes.
What is this?
So now you know.
What is this?
Are you talking to me?
No, I'm just like...
Oh, Poppy. It's Poppy owning you. I think it'll be okay. Sweaters have some give to it, right? Yes, I'll put it on the next one. Yeah, because we do have... Poppy, stop heavy breathing. Okay, there you go. And the rest will go into my handy dandy scrap bin because I love it. All right, next thing is it wants you to stitch the mitten cuff and hat placement line. So I'm going to go ahead and just slide my hoop back on and just hit start. And we're looking for, oh my God, I hope I didn't drop everything. Here they are. So I think we're going with this piece and then the 2 little cuffs. I'm going to grab my little mat. I think you should use a different color. It is hard to see the, it's hard to see the placement line with the pale mist. Maybe go a darker color. Okay, gonna slide my little matty mat under, and while I do that, I chant to myself, don't forget it, don't forget it, don't forget it. Don't forget it. I always feel underneath just to make sure it's there.
Hey.
All right, here we go. I'm worried a little bit about that knit too. Okay, what's that? There's that ick on my iron. Hang on. Let me grab a piece of batting. Don't know what got on here. Teflon sheet. Happy. Hi, baby. Okay, those are on. If you're doing this and you don't have your pieces pre-cut, you are going to do, don't know what that was, but you're going to do your tack down. That's the next step. And then you're going to trim. Okay. So I'm going to go on to all of the satin stitching. So it looks like, what about the, when do we do the, it's making me nervous. Oh, okay. Got it. So do I have more pieces there? I have more pieces. I have more pieces. But we're going to do the stitching right now. So we are on step number, we did this right here. So right now, some of you are doing the tack down and you're going to do the trim. And then this is step number 9, which wants pale mist. I'm going to put that in and it's going to do the hat outline on the sides. I already have my pale mist in here. So, yes, Patrick.
You just sent me this. You found it.
Wow. So when is it? November? Okay.
But look at the pictures though.
Yeah, here's a picture of the quilt show that we're going to go to in Korea. It's Coex. And
well, Coex is the.
Oh, that's the venue. That's the venue, right?
Remember that crazy teardrop shaped venue? That's Coex.
The teardrop shaped
And
venue.
you're done when you walk by.
Yes!
That's Coex.
That's amazing. So it looks like the trip's going to be in November. did you hear me say it and then I didn't do it? Okay, good thing it's a satin stitch. So what I didn't do was I didn't pull out my mat. Oh, and I just found my hoop screwdriver. Patrick just distracted me. Okay, here we go. Let's hit the cut button. Yes, Pappy. Okay, let me just go ahead and take that off. Yes, you're a good girl. Yes, I love you. Here we go. Yeah, sorry about that. It's just one of those days, I guess. I don't have them often, but every once in a while.
What are you doing?
Alrighty. Here we go. Back in business. Gotta concentrate. Let's go back to the beginning of that. And here we go. Momo, leave it. I feel like I'm just having one of those days. Patrick, can you do something for me? Will you rinse this for me?
Poppy, get down. What's that?
Will you rinse this for me? I need it for Mittens.
What do you mean rinse it?
Well, I'm gonna give this to you. If you could just take it and get a warm bowl of water and then just rub your... Oh, this is... Patrick's gonna learn the technique of freestanding lace right now.
Don't want to.
Did you hear him? He just said he doesn't want to learn. I could have you trim this too.
You definitely don't want me to trim that.
Okay, that was step number 9 in our
going from-
instructions. Now we're going to stitch the body satin outline. I'm going to take out my thread. We're going to be on a roll now. Sorry about that. I'm going to go ahead and put my linen thread in. Here, you're going to trim it too, just like I did it.
Am I cutting it out?
Yeah.
What if I cut it?
Don't cut it in half. Just cut around. Just take your time. I haven't been able to get to that, so we're going to have Patrick do it.
Hey.
Patrick is not... He is not too funny. Did you hear him? He just went, oh, like he did something bad, which I know he didn't. Okay, so step we're doing right now is I just stitched on either side after removing my mat. And now it's doing step number 10, the body satin outline. So it's going around the body. Then we're going to leave that linen thread in here and we're going to keep going. And we're going to do the face, feet, cheek fill, all with our linen. Better be linen. A lot of times, though, I have been using pearl. Yes, G is linen. And just stitch away. This is satin stitching. I just turned my speed back up, so we're at 1,050. We should be rocking and rolling. You don't have to get the center or any. Yeah, cut from. We're gonna throw away all that leftover. Patrick, I know. Did you hear Patrick? He goes, "What a waste." I know. I don't like wasting, but I needed to hoop that. Oh, Donna, I wish I could have heard you. Yes, this is what she does all day.
Off and go lay down.
How is it that the other dogs just, oh my God. I wonder how the glow in the dark threads are. Here's their glow. Don't those look amazing? I mean, we don't know until we like put it under the light and then put it in a dark room. Okay, let's clean up the big mess I made.
What am I doing with this?
You're gonna go rinse it. You're gonna take it in a bowl of, Patrick goes, what does that mean? You're gonna take a bowl of warm water and you're gonna rub it until it's not gooey anymore. And then you're gonna lay it nice and flat on a paper towel. Patrick thinks that sounds gross. Dissolve away gets gooey.
Ew.
Oh my. I love this sweater. I love it. Okay, just hit start again. So this is step number, on our stitch out, it is step number 11. Stitch the face and feet satin outline, and then we'll do the cheek fill. I guess the teal sweater looks okay, but I think I would have liked navy better, like the picture. But whatever. Can you see my snowflakes? Are they gonna look glorious? Like maybe all of that is gonna be worth it. I just can't. I know. Even though I need that sticky that says matte, because I'm too lazy to slide it all off. I should with the time. I feel like I'm saving time, but I'm not because I end up always stitching it down. Okay, here are the feet. Next color we're going to need after this is going to be the sea color, aquamarine. And then the pieces that you're going to have, if you already cut, which I did, these are the scan and cut pieces that I'm going to be using. I'm going to leave the linen in. The linen I think is going to be easier to see on top of this fabric. We are 25 minutes into our 49-minute stitch out. Just hit start. It's going to do the cheeks. Ooh, his cheeks are cute. All right, now what's another placement line? I'm going to leave in the linen. Oh, wait. Actually, no. Because it does call for the aquamarine, and maybe I'll be able to see that really well. Sorry, I have the hiccups. Aquamarine. This is just a placement line, so I'm not going to go back stitches at all. What a windstorm we had in Reno for 2 days. It was crazy. I don't feel like we have windstorms like that back east, and I wonder if it's because we have trees everywhere, but I've never really noticed a windstorm like that back east. I've never remembered having windstorms like that until I moved out west. Guess what? Gonna put my mat under there. And I'm not gonna forget. Right, Momo? I'm gonna remember to pull it out. Because I have a good memory. Okay, here we go. Placement stitch. Here is the little hat rim. Here is the top of the hat. Kind of just fits together. There's something ick on my irons. I'm going to put my Teflon sheet down. And I'll clean my iron later. Oh yeah, there's a big piece of batting on the side because I was trying to clean it off. All right, good enough. Next step, if you are trimming, you're going to do the next step, which is the tack down. Then you're going to trim. I'm going to go ahead and skip the tack down and trim. And I'm going to do the satin stitch with the aquamarine, which is already in there. Maybe I will catch up to you guys because you have been just chugging along, not making any mistakes, like me. Okay, here is my satin stitch. Oh, look at that. It's not even a satin stitch. It is a Kimberbell special beautiful stitch. So when you're trimming this one, make sure you do a good job trimming. Otherwise, the threads stick out underneath. Do I hear something strange? Hang on, I'm gonna cut. My ears tell me I hear something strange. Just checking my thread. Nope, everything looks like it's all good and intact.
The machine's not broken.
Patrick's being sassy. Okay, so this is step number 15. Stitch the hat, accent and brim decorative outline, and then we're going to leave that same color in, and we're going to stitch the scarf fringe design. Thread should just break though. And you know what? When your thread breaks, don't freak out. You've got to consider right now I'm going through like a couple layers. I'm going through heat unbound light. I'm going through the layers of the other fabric underneath where it's kind of joining.
Your machine's not broken?
Patrick's being really obnoxious. And I could slow it down a little bit too. But I'm going to go pedal to the metal for a little longer. After we do the scarf fringe detail, we are going to put the hickory in for the eyes and the mouth detail. Okay. No, I did not take my mat out. And that's probably, oh my God. You guys, I might be calling this one a day. This might be it for me because, yeah.
Just leave your...
I just left it. All right, I'm not going to make you watch this. Guess what? That might be it for me today because we're at our 3 hours and 13 minutes. Oh, God, I'm so embarrassed. That might be why my thing broke too. And I'd like to rip my stitches out in private. And so what I'm going to do, Patrick just goes, do you want me to do it? Because he's so sweet when he knows that I'm upset. Here, I'm going to let you look at the picture of what we should be doing right now that we're not doing because I made a mistake. But I'm going to just go ahead and film the rest. And then maybe I'm just going to pull my hoop out and iron to the side. But I'm going to go ahead, film the rest. Oh my God. I'm so sorry, guys. I will film the rest of this, and then I'll do my homework tonight later on. I will film the rest, and I will post it, and I will not lead you astray. I apologize. And yeah, that's it. So what I'm going to do for my homework, yeah, Virginia, that's probably why I was breaking, because it was going through all of those layers. And I was looking at it going, that doesn't look very good. It usually looks way better than that too. And I'm sure it's because I was going through all of that. So I will finish my snowman. I'm going to do my snowflakes, my mittens. I'll finish all of this. I have a lot of homework to do this week. And then next week, we will start with section 2. And I promise it'll be better than today. But have a great day. Be creative. Make something awesome. Finish up your section 1. And I will post this. I don't know if I'll get to it all tonight, but I will post it throughout the week. And I will see you tomorrow from this store. And I apologize, guys. And you guys are always so kind to me. I will take your gentle hugs. And I will see you later. I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.